Hey everybody, it's Troy from the Bangor Daily News here. I'm in Boothbay Harbor and I'm about to go out on the water with some divers from OceansWide. It's a Maine marine education and community nonprofit, and those divers are going to be looking for ghost gear. Ghost gear is what fishermen call lost or abandoned fishing equipment, rope, and other related junk sitting on the ocean floor. It's usually found in the form of wire lobster traps that somehow got separated from their floating buoys above, either from a storm or a boat propeller cutting the line. To find and remove the stuff, divers brave 40-degree ocean water and then head for the bottom. Once they locate some ghost gear, they tug 3 times on their red diving flag, letting OceansWide founder Buzz Scott know it's time to send down a weighted line with a hook at one end and a buoy on the other. Then a larger OceansWide boat motors on up, hooks to the buoy, and hauls in the ghost gear. Scott founded OceansWide in 2004 as a way to teach school kids how to dive and explore the deep sea.
And as we were exploring the deep sea, we noticed that there were a lot of traps on the bottom of the ocean, and the kids said, we got to do something about this.
Last year, Scott and his crew pulled over 1,000 lobster traps out of Boothbay Harbor alone. This year, they want to double that number.
There's at least 10 times that in Boothbay, and some of us kind of think that there's more like 3 times, 30 times that, so upwards of 30,000 traps. But, we'll soon find out.
A typical Maine lobsterman expects to lose about 10% of their traps every year. With over 4,000 licensed lobstermen fishing upwards of 800 traps apiece, that adds up fast. Maybe as many as 30,000 lost traps a year in the Gulf of Maine. With annual numbers like that, Scott reckons there's millions of modern, wire, non-biodegradable ghost traps sitting on the ocean floor right now, continuing to catch lobsters.
Well, you multiply 1 million traps times 1 million lobsters, that's a lot of lobsters left in the being trapped still down there on the bottom. So it's not a hazard to navigation, it's a hazard to the animals that the lobstermen are trying to catch. So we get down there, we release the lobsters. All the lobsters that we catch in these traps are set free, and guys are throwing over mussels and urchins and crabs and lobsters, fish. Sometimes we catch all kinds of critters in the traps, and so the more we let go, the more there is to catch and take to the supper table.
OceansWide diver Andrew JONASH said finding ghost gear is not hard. It's everywhere.
No, you just swim, and you only have 10, 15 feet of visibility, but you're always seeing one, so you just move on to the next,
Though the work is hard and the water is cold, JONASH said he's happy to be doing his part to keep the underwater side of the harbor beautiful.
Boothbay Harbor, it's surprisingly beautiful. There are anemones, sea stars, there's gunnels, there's all sorts of fish, and it's different this spring than it was last fall. On clear days, it's beautiful.
Back on dry land, some gear gets recycled, some gets thrown away, and some even gets returned to its rightful owners.
If the traps are tagged and they're in good shape, we let all the fishermen know they can come down and get them. And then traps that are in good shape but the fishermen don't want them back, we give them out to apprenticeship fishermen and people who are starting up their career that might need a little leg up.
The OceansWide dive crew plans to keep working in Boothbay Harbor until June, when boat traffic will get too heavy. But they'll be back to work again in the fall when the harbor slows down, pulling up ghost gear, one old lobster trap at a time.